from Complete Delight in Hong Kong, and today we're gonna do a mini purse cake with Satin Ice fondant and gum paste. So before we get started into covering our mini purse cake, we gotta work on our handles. So what I'm gonna do is we're going to use some pre-made, ready-made Satin Ice gum paste. Just using it in white. Just gonna knead it. And what I'm going to do is, it's really simple. I love working with this pre-made gum paste. Is I'm just going to roll out the handle. It's really nice and smooth. And if you want colored handles, it's really easy as well. What I do is I work with a 50-50. So 50% gum paste and 50% pre-colored Satin Ice fondant. And you get a really nice color with that. And if you want to darken it, you can always add more color in color paste to darken it. But the gum paste dries out beautifully. So what I do here is, I'm just going to snip off the end a little bit. I'm going to roll it out into about a diameter size of a licorice candy. If you want it to be wider, you can. It's really up to you how you want to go about it. And just gonna roll it out. Nice. See? It's about the diameter of a licorice candy. Snip off the ends. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my ruler and measure out the length of 6 inches per each purse strap. So grab a ruler. Just going to snip it off. And if you want just to get a visual, you can go ahead and put it against your naked purse cake here, just like that, and it looks pretty good. So we're just going to make a few of those. Always have these. And what I like to do is, you know, the handles take some time to dry, not too long, but if you want to be ready, and if you have a customer or suddenly you need to make a bag for a friend, I always like to have these handles all ready and prepared so you can always dry a bunch of them ahead of time, box them up, and you're good to go. Great. We'll just do one more. There you go. Just over a bit. Great. So now that the handles are done, let's move on to covering our purse cake. And what I've done is I'm going to use a pre-colored Satin Ice pink vanilla fondant, which comes out in a super beautiful, vibrant color. And I'm just going to knead it just to get it to a very smooth texture. And what we're going to do is we're going to roll it out. What I usually do is we're going to roll it out into like a long, wide strip. So I always start off the shape of the fondant into like a general shape of what I want when I'm rolling it out. So in this case, it's a rectangle. So that it'll come out nicely. Just going to turn on the machine. Roll it out. More. Great. Beautiful. And roll it on like a fruit roll-up. Swing that across. Okay, so I'm just going to start at the edge of the cake. Just roll it around. And what we're going to do when we get to the end here, take a knife and just very lightly cut the fondant off. It's okay. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work at the end over here. I'm going to finish that off. That's the excess. Peel it off. Just cut off the excess, just like that. What you can do is you can just make sure your edges. Once you got that down, dust off the cornstarch. Roll off your edges. There. And what I have is a stitching tool. And just want to mention, don't worry about the top looking not so neat, because remember, we're going to put a beautiful top cover of your purse. So we're all set. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put some stitch detail like here on the purse that gives it basically the oomph factor. And we're just going to glide it on the side edges of the purse. And the fondant Satin is great because you can roll it out really thin, and even when you roll it out really thin, when you put these details, the fondant still never breaks. So it's really great for all those little details. I'm just going to go once on the bottom here. Great. I love doing this part. It's easy and very, very, very impressive. Now we're going to work on the cover of the purse. We're almost there. And what I'm using is Satin white fondant, the pure white vanilla fondant. And I'm just going to use cornstarch, roll out the fondant really quick. You don't need too big of a piece. Nice and smooth. What we're going to do is you just measure your width. It's about 3 inches wide, so you're just going to roll it out. Roll out your edges so it's straight. Over there. About 3 inches. Okay. It's a bit long, but you can always cut that out later. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, what I like to do is add little cutout edges on the purse. So I'm just going to slice off this part and slice off the corner. So that'll be the front of your purse. You can go as narrow as you want, you know. You can basically adjust it to however you want. I'm going to shorten this just a tad. Okay. What I'm going to do is basically just slide this on top. Just make sure it's about the length that you want it. So it's about there. You see how it's really long in the back? That's fine, because what we're going to do now is just cut it out. Easy. Go ever so lightly if you're working with a knife, because you don't want to cut into the purse. Great. That was easy. And now my favorite part, stitching. So what we're going to do here is just glide it on the edge where you want the stitch. There you go. Okay. Continue it on the top. You don't have to press so hard. You will see when you work with Satin that you don't need to put so much pressure on it, and it really works well when you're working with these detail tools. We're going to grab our handles that we made earlier on. There you go. Hardened just fine. And all I'm going to do is show you, just slide that on top. There. We're just gonna add some liquid in the general area where you're gonna stick it. And what I like to do, just to make sure that the ends of your handle is perfectly flat, sits on, you just take a knife and just slice your gum paste handles really quickly. Just stick that on. Okay. So to give your mini purse the final factor, we have these pre-made flowers that we have, and I have this all the time, and we pre-make it with all the Satin Nice pre-color fondant. And what we're gonna do is just add the final touches to the purse. Here, just gonna stick that on. That's so cute. Do that to this one too. Fabulous. We hope you like our mini purse as much as we did, making it with Satin Nice fondant, and have a great time making it. Bye!